There we are. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't it spectacular? Oh my gosh, the sun's out. It's a beautiful day. Walking on this incredibly well-paved road with the concrete roundabout. It is fantastic. I needless to say, I'm very, very excited because I've been watching this progress for right along. But before I begin, I'm supposed to call this board meeting to order because it is a specially noted board meeting. So welcome to the Thursday, November 16th opening of the Fabian Bliss Road Roundabout. And clerk, could you please call the roll?
Here.
Yeah, here we are. Okay.
We'll throw it a form. I guess we won't vote on it.
It's already been done. And we're going to pay for it.
Okay, then we can turn it over to Carl.
And Carl, okay, your turn.
Good morning, everybody. Is it still morning?
Yes, sir.
All right. My job is to recognize the dignitaries, but I think we almost just did that on the roll call there. For those who don't know me, I'm Carl Shadle, Director of Transportation for the county. I did want to thank Madam Chair for opening the meeting. Also with us, Mark Davis, he chairs the Transportation Committee. And the other board members are Dale Berman and Bill Roth. So thank you for being here. Another key person in the audience is Mayor Schilke, Jeff Schilke, if you'd raise your hand. As you all know, Jeff has been mayor of Batavia for about the last 4 decades, give or take. And as you all know, all roads lead to Batavia. Well, Main Street does anyway. Also with us today, some key partners of ours. Pat Callahan is here, board chair, Batavia Park District. Thanks, Pat. Allison Niemola, executive director. And in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I wanted to thank all of you for your participation in this. We can't do it without most of the people that have assembled here. I want to recognize Jennifer O'Connell, who's in the audience. She's our chief of design. And she was also the project manager for this project on the design side. Also, here is Ken Milkey. He's probably in the back. Ken? Ken is our assistant chief of construction, and he was our project manager in the field here on the construction. So you both deserve my thanks and all of the thanks of the people that we serve. Most of the calls that we get are not always thankful, but I want you to know that the work that you do means a lot for our constituents. It means that they are getting to work and to their office and to school more efficiently and more safely. So thank you again for your work. With that, I want to introduce my right-hand man, Deputy Director Tom Ricker.
Well, I've been asked to just share a little bit of the project, an overview of the project, and so I'm just going to do that. We've been referring to this project as the Bliss Main Fabian Intersection Realignment and Roundabout Project. And I think that whether you're an elected official or whether you're from the public, we always say this phrase, it takes time. And this project took time. This project was initially brought forward as a concept, a planning concept back in 1996, and the county board decided to move it forward for various reasons. And some of those reasons are that we need to really take a look at what the future design needs are. And so we put this project in our 2020, 2030, 2040, and 2050 long-range transportation plans. It's been around, like I said, for a very long time. And we really wanted to make sure we did a concerted effort to make sure that we were looking at the projected land uses, the future traffic volumes, the travel desire and behavior of the public. And we also then began to protect the future right-of-way needs. This project came out of all those planning efforts over the years. If you take a look at where we're at and you look on a map, we're about halfway in between Randall Road and Illinois 47. There were two signalized intersections, one that was right behind us at the Fabian and Main Street Road intersection, as well as one at what we're referring to now as the Old Bliss Road. There was those two intersection signals, and they're both gone now. In between that stretch of the two signals, there's about a quarter mile that used to be there, and we would have traffic delays, we would have backups, we would have accidents that were resulting because of the skew angle at the intersections, as well as because of the delays that were occurring. Those are gone now, as well as the intersection now is a roundabout, which we generally know that on average that accident rates on roundabouts are reduced by almost 80%, sometimes even a little bit higher than that. But generally we know that accident rates are reduced, and the accidents that do occur are more minor because the speed is only about 20-25 miles per hour on average through those roundabouts. So what it does too is that this project, it helped us eliminate. We did have some situations where we were starting to see some double loading of traffic that was coming off of Bliss and then going up Main. Going up Main and then going up Fabian. And we would get double loading of traffic. We had traffic projections that ultimately would have required that we 4-lane Main Street in between the two intersections. So there are cost savings that occurred through all of that. In order for all of this to happen in the early 2000s, we had significant coordination with the Batavia Park District and with the Forest Preserve. Again, it was a design concept, but there were also planning efforts that were ongoing with the Forest Preserve as well as with the Park District. We worked very closely with Jim Eby from Batavia Park District in the early years of planning, as well as with John Durr and Dick Young with the Forest Preserve. If you look to the southeast of us, that large Forest Preserve area to the southeast is the Dick Young Forest Preserve. And we met many times, and we came up with intergovernmental agreements that helped to facilitate the planning as well as the protection of the right-of-way. So it was a major effort over many years. I want to thank the representatives from the Batavia Park District that are here. Your coordination with Jennifer O'Connell was great over the last decade in order to make sure that we are facilitating this project and bringing it to fruition, as well as we thank the Forest Preserve because of all the help that you gave us in protecting the right-of-way during the early 2000s. We just want to make sure that we thank you for those efforts and working with Jennifer O'Connell. The construction took 2 years. It was locally funded at a cost of about $11.9 million. And we have some rebuild funds from the last state capital program. The county board appropriated those funds, and we've been able to move this project forward because of those rebuild funds. The project also included a separate tree contract where we worked with the Forest Preserve in order to plant 400 trees over in Elburn Forest Preserve. And that was part of the mitigation requirement. And those trees now have been in place and established for 2 years and are growing currently in that Forest Preserve. Again, I just want to thank everybody for just attending our celebration today, and what a beautiful day. Thank you.
I should probably recognize Deborah Allen, who just drove by. So Celeste, you can update your roll call. Tom mentioned that the project was in the idea stage in 1996. I started at the county in 1997, but it doesn't mean that I won't accept full credit for this project. Tom also mentioned that the funding was entirely local for this project. So that means we did not, despite our best efforts, secure any state or federal outside funding for this one, which is a good thing because that means there's fewer senators and representatives that want to give speeches. So the highest ranking elected official that we have today is Madam Chair Corinne Pierock.
I won't take credit for the funding, but I will take credit for cheering you all on. What an amazingly concrete, metaphorically concrete example of the work, the fine, excellent, exceptional work that Kane County does to serve its citizens. I've been knocking a lot of doors lately, as you may well know, and many of us have. And one of the questions that is always asked of me is, tell me, what does the county do for me? Well, and no matter how many times, how many graphs we may show, how many attributes we may indicate, this truly is one of the most exceptional examples of exactly what the county does with our taxpayers' dollars. Today, we stand on a significant project to be completed. And it took 2 years to complete it. I've watched it all the time because I live right down the street. And I've been very aware of the progress. And sometimes it's been a little challenging navigating some of the roads, but it has always been something that I have paid careful attention to and making sure that I just cheered everybody on. The Bliss Road Realignment Project really shows how the county can work together in an efficient, cost-effective manner to bring these kinds of services to Kane County. And what does it do? What does this roundabout do? And what does transportation do for us? Well, it keeps our motorists safe. Very important. That's very important. Save lives. It keeps our motorists moving to make commerce efficient, to make our transportation, our travels to see our family, our friends, our doctors efficient, to integrate ways to protect our environment, which is exactly what's happened here. If you take a look and standing from the vista point that I'm in right now, you could not ask for a prettier road. I mean, it is just outstanding, and it's a fine example of how well transportation takes care of this beautiful, pristine area of Kane County. And tap into the latest technology to reduce the cost of doing business in the future. And I believe from what I've heard that has been well studied on this particular project using the right materials at the right time to last for a very, very long time. The Kane County Division of Transportation is highly skilled at recognizing, planning, and addressing road improvements, upgrades, maintenance, and repairs, just like this project. They do it by approaching funds for road projects that ensure resources are allocated efficiently and provide the most benefit to property owners, motorists, and our local economy. They also work with other county, state, and federal agencies, as well as our neighboring municipalities, to secure additional funding if needed or coordinate efforts for regional transportation improvements, thereby making our local money, our taxpayers' dollars, go further. While taxpayers may not always see the work that is going on KDOT, until the construction trucks are rolling and the cement is paved or the snow plows are actively on the road, the work continually is ongoing, with planning a year or more ahead to ensure that Kane County is a modern and very, very well maintained transportation system. I would like to thank KDOT and thank your staff, Carl and Tom, for all the work that you have done for our roads and for Kane County. Extremely well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The last speech, and we promise, would be from Mark Davis. He's the chairman of the Transportation Committee.
clearly the county board is essential in all of this, and particularly the transportation committee. But we don't do this alone. I do want to take a moment to recognize the good people of Baxter and Woodman, Jay Coleman, design engineering firm that helped do the design of the roundabout and the realignment, and Martan Construction Company with Superintendent Quincy Mowers, project manager Wayne Wall, assistant project manager Lucas Mowers. We also had the V3 companies as a construction engineering firm with Rick Kipp. So thanks to all those people, because as good as the transportation committee is, we need help. So this is a great day to welcome you guys to the Jennifer O'Connell Roundabout. I'm gonna try to get your name in there a couple more times when I'm done. And Dave Bush, our chief of construction. Then there's these guys, Rickert and Shadle. Not sure what they did, but they're always around. And I love those guys. You know, if I'm not in a room with folks like you who know better, or with them, I try to claim the status of father of the roundabout for Kane County, because I enjoy travel, and I'd go off. I was in Europe, and I came back with two ideas. First, I rented a car that kept stalling until I figured out that it was turning off on purpose. You know, so you're not idling. And then there was roundabouts. I was like, these are great. And I come back all excited, and I come to tell Carl and Tom, like, we have to start thinking about these things. And they kind of chuckled. They're like, yeah, we've already got a couple of those. We've been doing it for years. So I can only claim to be the father of the roundabout in Kane County if they're not around to correct me. But we're blessed to have both of them. And these are the results, is a combination of their leadership and all of you that make this kind of stuff happen. So I think we should cut a ribbon to the Jennifer O'Connell Roundabout.
Could the elected officials come forward and do the honors, including Mayor Schilke, or especially Mayor Schilke?
The truck in the background.
Yes. It's on YouTube. If you look for Kane County Government YouTube channel.
Because the wind is gonna take away my recording, and I missed the first part, because I didn't realize.
Yeah, so if you go to YouTube, type in Kane County Government, it'll bring up all of our meetings, and so
This will be on today.
yeah, it's live streaming, so it's already there. Yep.
Madam Chair has allowed me to adjourn this meeting.